Morning traders, Paul here with GammaEdge. Today is Monday the 19th of December. Let's get started. Pause your players here, read to the bottom. If you agree, hit that play button. Summary for today, all the market models are in cash or they are short. We've been hitting lower lows in the short term. We're below the ribbon in the intermediate term and the long term. All the slopes of the ribbon are downward. If you don't know what this means, urge everyone to come into the Discord. We've got full views of this. We stream it, and you get to see what we're seeing in real time. Positive GEX within the SPX combo complex, which is both the AM and the PM settled complex, is at 4,200. But as you'll see, we could easily lose this to either the 4,000 strike or the 4,100 strike. All are close, and the 0 DTE action will most likely cause us to bounce back and forth between this, depending on how speculators want to play the upside convexity. 3,800 is the downside line here, and it will remain minus GEX for the foreseeable future, unless we see a lot of OTM puts being open, which could pull us down and perhaps push that to a 3,700. But you'll see that's not probable for today. We are below all of the SPX transitions. This is an area of weak dealer interaction, and we think that in the big picture, we remain biased towards that 3,800, 3,835 JPM strike. We stopped Friday at Friday's 1 DTE, which is now today's 0 DTE start, and that's something we see all the time. So we want to pay attention to those 0 DTE and 1 DTE charts and look for those pockets where we have both a gamma and a delta transition. We're seeing the potential for some short-term upside. We've got a lot of puts that are going to get monetized today, tomorrow. And when we monetize those puts, the dealer response is to buy the underlying or correlated assets. So we want everyone to review the Delta-Moneyness views, and you can get a pretty good idea of where the imbalance exists for today. Key levels that we're looking at, like I said, on the PM settled, in the combo complex, the key levels here are 4,238. That's everything, both the AM and the PM. The PM, which is a short-term vehicle and has been really dominated by the 0 DTEs, is showing the 4,000 strike to the upside, and we've moved up from 32 to 3,400 in terms of put open interest on the lower side. When we see that, we actually look at this as a bearish indication to go south. And we also see a drop in plus GEX as a bearish indication to go north. People want to know, are we going to go up or are we going to go down? It doesn't work that way. These are independent speculators. Speculators to the upside are moving closer to spot price. And the reason they're doing that is they're bringing those calls down to take care or take advantage of any convexity to the upside. And then by the same notion, when we see minus GEX and POI move up, those speculators, the ones who feel that the market is going to drop, are moving those puts closer to spot price. So again, I know everyone wants to know definitively what's going to happen here. It doesn't work that way. And so if you're looking to have someone call the market direction every single day, you're not really understanding why we have a market and the push-pull action of speculators on both the upside and the downside. The PM settled complex, really important here. We're below transition. This is the short-term complex, fairly negative in its overall net gamma. You can see the level above that 3865 is really ill-defined in terms of gamma. And you can see the bars back and forth here. Since it's so loose, it's very hard to pick a place where we could hide. We could actually hide anywhere in here. We are looking here at this 3870 level. We feel that's a very interesting level just in general for the SPX PM complex, which is the short-term complex. This trades the 0 DTs, 1 DTs, etc., and it moves quite a bit. Contrast that with the SPX AM settled complex, which now is only the monthlies, and that's out in January. That's more institutional money, more illiquid, and does not move. This yellow line signifies where we closed on Friday, and you can see we're below transition. We could try to make some runs up into this area, but with this huge negative delta, with the exception of the two areas that I've marked here, everything is really dominant on the the put dominated side for deltas, and as a result, we're going to have to see some monetization in order to push things north. In the interim, the charm flows from this will actually push this south and cause the dealers to have a downward pressure on the overall markets. The 0 DTE for today, here's the 0 DTE, negative expiry coming off here today. I want to highlight this pocket up here at this 39.20 to 39.30. These transition zones fairly strong, always offer a good potential for the dealers to pause into that area, but I note the deltas are not zero. We do have delta 0 down here at this 38.35, which just happens to be the JPM strike. So we are mindful of this. We're also mindful of where we actually paused. Right here at the base, this was the 1 DTE on Friday. It is now the 0 DTE for today, and you can see this 38.50, 38.55 zone is exactly where we parked. This is no surprise. We see this all the time. And so paying attention to where we see these transition points is often a very, very good area to look for, like a broken wing butterfly or something of that nature. 1 DTE, again, very fat, very loose, very ill-defined. This is where we end the day today, or estimated where we end the day today, not taking any 0 DTE action into play. You can see a real dominant line here at the 38.25. This is going to come off tomorrow. Here's that 38.50, wherein we closed Friday at 38.52, so we're sitting right above that. We could push anywhere into this area. Very ill-defined, 39.75 sitting right here. Any of these large gamma zones offer some area of reprieve. We are not thinking we're going to push north very aggressively here today. We think we're going to hold out down into this area. Like I said, we think the normal charm flows right now are to the downside, slightly a boat anchor on the overall market progress. Combo complex, which is the AM and the PM settled complex, you can see net negative deltas with the exception of this one area, that 38.70 area. And you can see that we do have the transitions, fairly strong gammas on both sides, fairly strong deltas on both sides. Delta structure overall, though, is extremely put dominated. When we see that, the winds are definitely blowing to the downside in the absence of any opening or closing of any options within the complex. Here's that 3800 line, very, very important, not shown as the 4200 line, which is all the way up at the top and well out of range. One of the things that we pay attention to is the Delta-Moneyness. This edge right here defines the 0 DTE, and you can see that we do have some deltas that are going to be coming off. Whether they come off, this is a cash settled index, whether they come off or not is to be determined, but we are mindful that we have a lot of in the money puts and some very close to the money that are going to race towards that -1 limit on their deltas as we go in. They're going to, as the trader gets shorter and shorter, as this races towards -1, the dealer is going to get longer and longer, and they will hedge that by selling. But when this is monetized, if it is monetized, we will the traders will take their deltas from -1 up towards 0. They'll get longer. The traders will get, the dealers will get shorter, and as a compensating factor, when we close long in the money puts, we typically will see the dealer response to buy. So depends on when this occurs. Sequencing is a very, very important thing here. You can see there is no compensating on the 0 DTE on the call side, so we really are, the puts are driving the story today. And so downside as we go through the day, and then if there is any monetization of the potential to reverse and push upward. The SPX structure here, as I said, 4,200 is the upper goalpost, 3,800 is the lower goalpost, but you can see the magnitudes here are fairly important, 4,000, 4,100. Any one of these could become the dominant as we go forward, and want everyone to pay attention to that. Don't see the same story here for minus GEX. Minus GEX is not really surrounded by anything that could take this, so we're going to have to see some short-term puts being opened to drive any one of these other spikes into a majority. 3,800 does seem to be that downside target that everyone's shooting for and is pretty important. 3870 is that upside First gamma spike that goes positive, 3,900 is another one that goes negative. So you can see we're going back and forth, and it's just going to be a battle. This is a really poor structure to advance higher. Here's the 4,000 strike, and you can see even if we get through transition, we've got to start contending with this particular area up here. Want everyone just to be aware the 41.45 is the end of January, so that is a while away, but it's already starting to rear its ugly head. And this 38.35 is sitting right down here, which is the end of this month, and of course is in the news, and everyone's paying attention to it. So it'll be very interesting to see how this rolls out. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, comments, come and join us at GammaEdge.us. Click on the pricing tab, fill out the blanks, come on in for a 14-day risk-free trial, all the tools turned on, and happy to walk you through what we're seeing and how you might be able to apply this to your overall style. Follow us on Twitter, GammaEdges with an S, and then on YouTube. Two things. If you like today's content, let me know directly by smashing that like button. It gives me immediate feedback that I'm providing content that you want to see. And then, of course, follow us, because Taylor, myself, and Mike all post videos, and we want to make sure that you keep abreast of whatever we're doing within the GammaEdge environment, but also how you can apply this to your trading style and what we're seeing in terms of deltas and gammas. So with that, I bid you farewell. Make it a great week this week before Christmas, and hope to see you in the Discord. Thanks, everyone.